determine whether or not it stays up to speed. Your internet connection might determine that. So everybody hold your hands up there nice and strong. Now the first move is a twin knife hand strike. When you do your twin knife hand strike, your hands are going to come down. Your hands are going to stop when they get parallel to the floor. So again, this is a strike down to the parallel to the floor. So it's here. Again, it's a strike until your hands get parallel. And then that's when the 4 seconds start. All right. So again, so when you do the first move, when you go from here, you do your twin knife hand strike, and then it goes in a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. When you get to 4, everything should be completed. So again, from here, hands are up. That first move, twin knife hand strike, it comes down low. Boom. And it comes down nice and slow. And then hold it out there nice and strong. Now your ready stance for this. This is actually the first move to your ready stance. This does not count as a move. From here, my hand is going to be palm, just like I'm holding a cup of coffee or a cup of hot cocoa. My other hand's going to be on top, not touching it, because you'll burn your hand. It's going to be away from it a little bit. Your thumb is going to be on top. So again, when you come down to your ready stance, when your hands come together, this hand is up here flat. You don't want to spill it. So your hands aren't down like this because you'll spill everything out of your cup. Hold it up nice and strong. Then this hand's going to be close touching your hand. All of your toes are touching together. Your knees are going to be slightly bent. So from the side, my hands come down. I go nice and slow. And then it stops. Hands just in front, just like this. All right, let's all try. Everybody get your hands up. Good. Again, right now your feet are as wide as your shoulders. Feet as wide as your shoulders. Again, insides of your feet to the outside of your shoulders. Hands all the way up. And go. Boom. And again, it goes nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th count, that's when everything should be together. Okay, now one of the questions before was talking about the timing of this first move. The first move is a tension technique. So what that means is I'll show you facing front, then I'll show you from the side. So from this position, I step my left foot, left hand goes out, and then I start to do a nice slow punch. Now I'm going to show you the secret with this punch in a second. But the timing of this tension movement should count on a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I turn it over. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now watch from the side. The timing on this is from this position. When I step forward, as soon as my stance is complete, that's when the technique's going to start. So from here, I step, boom. As soon as my stance is complete, that's when my hands start to move to do my slow technique. Then I turn it over. As soon as I turn my hands over, that's going to initiate the movement as I step forward. So again, as I turn my hands over, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the last video we were talking, well, the last class we were talking about your shoulders, because this is what I see a lot of times when we're doing this technique. We step forward. Now, when I go from here, notice my shoulders. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see how my shoulders turn? Then watch again as I step forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your shoulders are not going to rotate. They're going to stay locked straight ahead. So everybody put your feet together in your ready stance. Let's do this together. Everybody step your left foot. We're going to break it down a little bit slower. Step your left foot, left hand in front. Good. Now, let's get a little picky with all this stuff. Hold that technique. Now, when you guys are doing your form, you want to make sure this hand is going to be in front of my shoulder. See how my shoulders are square to the front? This hand's even with my front shoulder. This hand is going to be palm down. Notice my arm is flat. It's not like this. It's not like this. My arm is going to be flat. My forearm has to be flat, parallel to the floor. This technique is going to come out as a hand switch, and then it rotates. It rotates at the end of the technique. My hand is still in front of my shoulder, and from the side, you'll see that this arm is going to be parallel to the floor. Now, from here, when you have your hand out with my palm facing the floor, this hand palm away, this is an outer forearm block, like our outer forearm block position. My hands are actually going to come in close to my body. So you see my center line right here? Look at my uniform. Let's try to get in the center here. It's hard to see in the video. From here, one hand, see how you can see the gap between my hands? When this hand comes back, this arm, see how it comes in the middle of my body? And see how it comes back out to my shoulder? Do you see that? So again, it's coming from here, palm down, hands coming in, and then my hands rotate. So again, it's from this position. My hand comes in front of my body in the center line, and then it's going to rotate. Everybody, let me see you guys practice this. Let me see. Both palms to the floor. Your elbow is going to be tucked back behind you. Your elbows tucked down in front of you. Again, this is the position if you're doing your outer forearm block from the side. From the front, you'll see that your hand comes in, right now. See, I don't know if you guys can see that from the video. It's hard to tell from the video, but your hand's gonna come into the center line of your body, and then it rotates back out to the even with your shoulder again. Make sure it doesn't come out here. Make sure it doesn't stay inside. It's gonna stop even with your shoulder. Then when you rotate your hands over and do the other side, again, his hand comes in, and then it blocks. Raise your hand if that makes sense. Good, excellent. So come on back, let's do that together. Feet are together, hands to front. Remember, there's a gap between your hands. Step your left foot, left hand, both palms facing the floor, hands are in position. And again, your shoulders do not rotate. Your shoulders will stay square to the front as you do the first technique. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then turn them over. Step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Are we good there? The next move, we're going to slide into a knife hand block. It's a knife hand block. The reason knife hand block is your elbow is bent. It's just like an outer forearm block, except your hand is open. So it's a knife hand block. What that means is a knife hand block is not a double knife hand block. This is a double knife hand block. This is a knife hand block. Raise your hand if you understand the difference. Double knife hand block, knife hand block. Double knife hand block, knife hand block. So when you do the knife hand block, the load is the same exact, what is that? Oh, the load is the same exact load weight for a knife hand strike. When I do a knife hand strike, see how my hand is here? My striking hand is going to be on top. My palms are crossed on the bottom. As I do my knife hand strike, my load for the knife hand block is going to be done the same way. My hand is going to point to the direction I'm going to go as my body rotates into it, and then I do my block. All right, now from here, everybody got their left foot forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. You step forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody should have their right foot in front. Left hand out. Good. Now from here, when you slide together, my shoulders, everything is going to go to my target.
Master Freeman.
Everything.
Master Freeman, we lost you.
Master Freeman, your screen, sir.
Who's trying to call me?
I'm thinking it's a notification because it hasn't gone away. There we go.
How about now?
Yes, sir.
Now you're good.
Woo! Everybody can see me now. All right. So everybody's got their right foot in front. Left hand is out. Everybody with me? All right. When I do this next move, put your hands down. All you're going to do is you're going to slide your feet together and turn your whole body, toes and everything, to the corner. And then come on back. Turn your whole body, toes and everything to that corner. Ready to go. And come on back.
Go the other way, bud.
One more time. Slide your feet together. Everything goes to that corner. Slide. Go. And come on back. Now, when you do the next move, you want to make sure, this is important, you want to make sure that your shoulders are facing that same direction. As soon as my shoulders step out forward, I'm going to make sure my shoulders stay facing that way. My foot's going to step out into my front stance. So again, from this position, when I slide my feet together, my whole body turns faces that way. My foot's going to step out into a front stance as I do my knife hand block. Shoulders don't turn. Shoulders stay square to your target. Good. Let's all try it together. Everybody put your hand out. Right foot in front. Left hand out. Ready? Slide your feet together. Everything turns to that corner. Bring your hand across your body. You're going to step forward into your front stance and then knife hand block. There you go. Now see some shoulders. Got to turn it to the front. Some shoulders, turn it to the front. And good. Come on back. All right. Are you guys all ready? Okay. Now, those techniques, that's going to be super, super important to make sure that your body is getting the position. What is the first thing that gets into position when you're doing a kick? What's the first thing that gets into position when you do your kick? What's the first thing? Go ahead, type in the comments. What's the first thing? What's the first thing?
Sit chamber.
A lot of shoulders, a lot of knees. Shoulders, a lot of knees. First thing is going to get in position. All right. All right. I've seen enough. Everybody bag up. Bag up, bag up, bag up, bag up, bag up. First thing that gets into position when you do a kick is your upper body. Upper body. You want to make sure your shoulders, your hands, everything's going to get in the upper body to get in position first before you start doing your kick. When you're doing your technique and you're going from one transition to the next, what's going to be the first thing that moves? Don't move it here to type it. Don't type it. I'm going to type it. Your upper body again. Your upper body is what's going to lead your lower body when you're transitioning from one stance to the next. You want to make sure of that. So watch, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I were to step forward and do a knife hand strike. Let's say I'm going to step forward and do a knife hand strike. Not a knife hand block, a knife hand strike. I'm going to show you from the side. Now, if I were to go from this position, the first thing that's going to move is what? I don't step forward. I don't start the movement with my feet. I'm going to start to rotate my shoulders. Do you see how I'm rotating my shoulders? I'll show you from this angle. From here, the first thing I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start to rotate my shoulders. Now, what this hand is going to do, this hand's going to start coming off of its position as it comes across my body. Now, this arm hasn't bent yet. As I'm turning my body, I'm going to roll into this arm, which is going to bend that arm. So now the first thing that's getting in position is my upper body. Now from here, now I can let my lower body follow in the motion. Step, boom. That way I can step forward and do my knife hand strike. So again, your upper body is going to lead your lower body. If I'm going to that transition from this upset this block here, this punch, into my knife hand block, the first thing I have to do, I have to rotate my body, rotate my upper body. From this position, I'm going to rotate my body as I slide my feet together. Then I'm stepping out in my front stance and doing my knife hand block. So your upper body has to get in position first. Where is your power coming from? Where is your power coming from? What do you think? Think about it. Don't worry about a response. I'm going to tell you in just a couple seconds. I just want you to think about it. Where does your power come from? A little bit is going to come from your stance. The majority of it is going to come from the tension and the speed in which you deliver your technique. So for example, let's say I'm in this position here in my knife hand strike. When I start to rotate my body, right now, I've got all this tension in my midsection here. Now I'm going to initiate the movement with my back foot as I come forward, and everything explodes, boom, into my next technique. Hello?
Mr. Freeman, we've got a lot of questions as far as body positioning, whether or not you're doing the mirror image. So we're having a lot of confusion with exactly what we're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Steps of the form.
Are we talking about the form, or are we talking about the concept of upper body leading your lower body?
No, we're talking about the form in general. Everybody's pretty confused with how it should be done.
With how it should be done. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let me just back up a little bit. All right. So everybody get your ready stance. Get your ready stance. All right. Now, I was not doing the mirror image before. I'm going to start doing the mirror image this time. All right. I was not doing the mirror image before. I will start doing the mirror image this time. I was telling you what foot to step and what hand to do the technique. So for example, from this position, left foot, left hand. So now I'm going to do the mirror image. So I'll say left foot. You'll step that foot. If I say left hand, you'll put your left hand down. Raise your hand if that'll help you out a little bit. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see if I can do this. So everybody go to your ready stance. So this hand's going to be the type this. This hand's going to be here. So from your position, you'll step out. You'll do your twin knife hand strike. And again, you'll come down nice and slow. Boom. Other hand's going to be a tight fist. This hand's going to be over top. Now, when you step your left foot, left hand, both palms will be facing the floor. You're going to go nice and slow, same concept as you do the first block. Now, remember, we were talking a lot about your upper body getting in position. The reason I want that is because I want you to have as much power into your techniques as you possibly can. Now, from here, when I turn my hands over, I'm going to step at the same time. So I turn them over, step, and as soon as my foot touches the floor, that's when I'm going to start doing the next technique. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now, we talked about sliding our feet together. So when I slide my feet together, my body is going to turn to the corner that I'm going to go towards. So right now, I'm going to slide my left foot to my right foot. When I slide my left foot to my right foot, I'm going to turn and face that direction. So everybody go back, put your foot back. Good. Everybody right now should have their right foot in front, left hand out. Good. Now I want to see you slide. You're going to turn your body to your right. As you slide your feet together, turn to the right. As you bring your arm across your body, right now your hand is out. You're going to step out into a front stance. Make sure your shoulders are square as you do your knife hand block. Hands come back as you step your front foot back. Double knife hand low block. Make sure that your stance is everything. Really be particular with your stances. Like right now, I see some of us with our legs kind of straight like this, with their hands down, this hand here. You want to make sure your back is straight in a good back stance. In a back stance, you want to have your foot facing your target. You shift your weight where 70% of your weight's on your back leg as you do your double knife hand low block. So this hand's going to be flat right here in the middle of your body. This hand should be right above your knee. It's going to be about 6 inches above your knee. That should give you a good measurement. So again, make sure that back knee is bent. Does everybody know how far your back knee should be bent? It should be bent so you can't see your toes. So if I'm looking down, if I can see my toes, my knee's not bent enough. I'm going to bend it just to where I can't see my toes as I do my double knife hand low blocks. Good. So from this position, we're going to slide. We're going to go the other direction. As we slide our feet together, notice my whole body turns that direction. As you bring your hand across, I'm going to step under my front stance and then knife hand block. Good. Again, make sure your shoulders, everything is facing that direction. As I step my front foot back, double knife hand low block. Then I'm going to step forward into a rear stance. Now in a rear stance, we all know that a rear stance has to make sure all of your weight's on your back leg. Your front foot's just barely touching the floor. You want to make sure you're on the ball of your standing foot as you do your double knife hand block. Making sure this hand is nice and flat. This hand is turned palm away. Good. Now from this position, you're going to step forward again and double knife hand block. Good. And go back. All right. So again, we're really focusing on our stances, really focusing on our shoulder position, our hand position, making sure your arms are locked into position so that way you can lock your techniques out. So everybody come on back. Let's do it again. So when you're ready, stance. Again, I'm doing the mirror image, so I'm doing the complete opposite of the way it should be. You just follow along base with me. So ready, hands up. And do the first move. 1. Hands are down flat. As soon as they hit the parallel to the floor, there's a nice loud yell here. Your foot should be about knee level. And then from that position, you come down on a 4 count. So let's try it one more time. Ready, first move, yell nice loud. Ja! And again, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now, everybody's got the right hand in a really tight fist. Left hand is over top just before. Now from here, you're going to step forward. When you step forward, make sure you step your left foot, left hand, both palms are facing the floor. And again, you go nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget, this hand is actually coming in and then it's coming out. In and out. So again, we were talking about with that center line, comes in the inside to the outside of that shoulder. And then from there, turn your hands over as you step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now, when you slide your feet together, remember, you're going to continue moving that direction. You're going to look to the right. It's the 45-degree angle to your right. As you slide your feet together, hand comes across. You're going to step forward. Everything should be facing that way. My toes, my shoulder, my head, everything is facing that way. As I step into my front stance, and again, I'm going to do my knife hand block. Make sure your knife hand block, hand comes across just kind of like you're waving in front of the camera. From here, my hand comes across my body. Here, palm to my ear, across my body. Here to here. Here to here. So again, from this position, as I step forward in my front stance, boom, I do my knife hand block. Now my hands come back behind me as my front foot steps back into my back stance, double knife hand low block. Now everybody get a really strong double knife hand low block. Good, strong back stance. Good, now slide your feet together. When you slide your feet together, where do you face? Do you face forward or are you going to turn and face the left? Forward or left? That's right, you're going to turn and face the left. So when you bring your feet together, make sure everything turns facing the left corner. As your hand comes across, you're going to step your left foot forward and then do your knife hand block. Good, hold that hand out there. Aditya, try not to share a screen share. Come on off so everybody can see me. Aditya, you're screen sharing, buddy. Aditya. Get off the screen share.
There we go.
There we go.
Sorry.
All right, now from here, watch. My hands are going to come back behind me. Now, I hope you guys are paying really close attention to my upper body movement, my hand positioning, because I'm not just going from here. I'm not just doing this. I'm not going to just step back and then put my hands down. My hands are loading in the correct position. This arm is extending all the way back behind me. My hand is going to be palm to my ear. So that way, when my hands come back into my back stance, notice this hand is way back from the side. It's way back behind me. This hand's going to go in a straight line from here to here. This hand's going in a straight line from here to here. So my hands are in position. Both hands fire down in the double knife hand low block. So again, I'm going to turn back to the corner. My hand comes back, and then it fires down. Now the next move, when you step forward into this double knife hand block, I want you to watch my upper body. I spent a lot of time talking about your upper body leading your lower body for this reason alone. From here, when I step to do my double Nathan block, watch what my body does. Did you see how my body turned and rotated before it stepped forward and did my block? That's what I want us to focus on. From here, my upper body is going to lead all the way back behind me. As it leads all the way back behind me, that's when I step forward in my rear stance and do my double Nathan block. Let's all try it. So go back to my double Nathan low block. I want to see, I'm going to watch everybody. I want to see your arms come all the way back. Now watch from the side. All the way back. The mirror image. Just step and then do my double Nathan block. Ready? And go. Arms all the way back. And then block. Now remember, we were talking about the timing of that block. The timing when your stance is complete, that's when the technique's going to happen. So from this position, my hands come all the way back behind me. As soon as my foot touches, boom, my hands have to explode to get there to do my double Nathan block. From there, same thing. Watch from the side. When I go do my next block, my body's going to rotate. My foot is still way back behind me. I'm still doing the mirror image, so that way I can step and do my next double Nathan block. So from here, let's all do it. Step forward and block. Go. And hustle back. Those details with your stances, that's really, really important. Raise your hand if you know all about the front stance. All the information. Okay, I'm going to review it super fast. I hope you guys stay with me. A front stance. A front stance is one shoulder wide, two shoulders long. One shoulder wide, two shoulders long. That's important to remember because all of your stances that are doing front stances, we have to make sure they look like that. Your front knee has to be bent. Is this a good front stance? Raise your hand if this is a good front stance. Raise your hand if this stance could be better. Just raise your hand. Okay, it's going to be better by me making sure I bend my front knee. The second thing, now, here's another thing that I see a lot. When you step forward into your front stance and we say bend your front knee, we see a lot of this. This is not a good front stance. My front foot has to be out far enough. That's why it's important to make sure your stance is 2 shoulders long. So again, a front stance, make sure wide as your shoulders, 2 shoulders long. Your front knee is bent where you can't see your toes. And again, your back leg, you want to lock it out straight. We'll talk about that in another video, probably tomorrow's class, about how to lock out your stances, because that's going to be super important. Your body position, my main focus with this first part of this form is making sure that your body position gets there so that way, again, it can snap into place. Who wants to move with a lot of power? Who wants to move with a lot of power? Good, put your hand down. So when you do that, you got to make sure you get your upper body into position, load it, boom, and then snap it into place. All right, now I've actually gone over a little bit, but listen, I want to make sure if you have any questions, send me an email. Send me an email so that way I can answer your questions. If you have questions on the video, send me a video of you doing something. I will personally respond to it and give you some feedback on what you guys are doing. Go ahead and make sure you guys communicate with me. Anytime you send something to me, I will 100% respond to it. All right? The other thing is make sure these videos will be reloaded up to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, go back and watch the YouTube channels, the YouTube classes that the classes we have on the YouTube channel, so that way you guys will be ready to rock and roll. All right? You guys did absolutely amazing today. I'm really excited. This is going to be really cool. We're going to start breaking up this a little bit more. What time for tomorrow's class? We'll let you know tomorrow. I gotta kind of figure this out because we're trying to do some later classes and we're trying to keep some earlier classes. I know the school schedule is kind of getting a little crazy, so we'll let you guys know. We'll send out an email tomorrow morning. It'll be pretty early. We'll send out an email whenever the next classes for tomorrow is going to be. But again, we're going to continue to break these classes up. You guys saw the email that went out about doing one-on-one sessions? You guys saw the email that went about doing one-on-one sessions? Make sure you guys sign up for those classes. I will certainly, that's going to be awesome. Make sure that you really focus on something that you want to improve on. Each week, we're going to recycle it so that way we can open it up to more and more classes. All right? You guys were amazing today. It was awesome seeing you guys, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.